Welcome back to Uplink, the only place where you can find out about the latest gaming news, but we're not even doing that today. No, we're doing something else. Halo Anniversary, The Last of Us Part 1, Ocarina of Time for the 3DS. All these things are remakes.
Mm-hmm.
That's the topic. What makes a good remake?
When they remake it.
Oh man.
No, I think what makes a good remake is keeping the spirit of the original and keeping the game that you played, because that's why you're rebuying it. Keeping the game that you played, the shell of what that was, along with the story, I feel like is good. When you're doing what The Last of Us is doing, which has been the biggest news over the past couple of weeks, kind of besides what we talked about with Starfield. Or wait, what's the name of that game?
Yeah, Starfield.
Starfield, thank you. Besides what we talked about with Starfield last week, it has been the biggest news. So keeping the shell of that game, keeping the same beats and story, maybe changing up a couple of things here or there. Not retconning, but doing some of that. But updating the graphics.
Retconning if you got to.
Yeah, updating the graphics, updating the motion capture, updating the just how it looks for the new systems, and just this is the dumb word, and people who actually pay attention to video games, the smoothness of it.
Yeah.
How well it transitions into a new era of hardware that we have, and how well it plays for the graphics that we're used to now. And I think keeping what we knew and loved from the original games, but making it where my eyes don't bleed when I play it anymore.
Fair enough.
That's what makes a good remake to me.
Yeah, I think for me, like a good remake, especially with some of the ones we've gotten more recently, is about bringing the artistic intent to its full fruition. So, not just...
we couldn't do this back then, but we can do it now.
I couldn't make this dog walk on its hind legs and that looked believable before, but I can now. Mm-hmm. There's not a single game that we're going to mention today that does that, but that's beside the point. But I just think that it's about bringing the modern conveniences of games, the lessons learned across the years from, game design, and bringing that version of the story to a new audience who gets to experience it for the first time, but through this more polished and smooth lens. Sometimes that gets out some of the quirks that you love in a game, but sometimes it's worth it.
Yeah, and now that's different from a remaster, and what we talk. What I kind of described was more of a remaster. But when you're talking about remakes for old games that like we're going to talk about GoldenEye. Not a good game when you go back and look at it. How is that port going to port over to a new thing? You kind of just have to completely make a new game.
Sit down and try to play GoldenEye right now. It's been objectively demolished by the passage of time. Yeah. I think that the controls are so janky now that if I try to hold that controller, I will get retroactive arthritis backwards in time. So
the one that comes to mind for me that has done it really well, really quickly, or not really quickly, but did it really well, and I was shocked by it. It had the same feel of when I was playing it when I was a kid, are the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games.
Yeah.
The re-release of those games where they said, oh, it's a re-release of the old game, and then you go and play it, and it's like a new game. Yeah, it's just like a completely new thing.
It feels. I think what they did is that instead of focusing on, because they did a good job of making the graphics beautiful in that game and stuff, but I think more so than that, they focused on the feel of the game. They brought over a lot of the things that make that game work. They've tried to do a Pro Skater HD remaster before, and that was garbage. It did not feel like Pro Skater. It felt like a off-brand version of Tony Hawk, like, I don't know, Tony Sparrow. Was not good.
Tony Albatross.
So, we've got a few games on the horizon here. We've got, these are just the ones that we know about. There's going to be video playing here, so no one can see us with our scripts.
Saints Row, Perfect Dark, The Last of Us Part 1, and a personal favorite that I didn't get to play it in full back in the day that I'm really excited for, Knights of the Old Republic. I was too young. I saw my cousins play that, like they come watch me play video games sort of thing because I'm bored. And so it was like they got to play what essentially is one of the best role-playing games ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Well, it's one of the best role-playing games, one of the best Star Wars games ever. I mean,
it's probably the best Star Wars game ever.
It's up there for sure.
Has to be. And one of the best storylines ever that like kind of subverted what we know and love about Star Wars, where the good guys win and stuff like that. And it felt like back then that your choices matter.
Right.
Now, if they can replicate the choice model how did they get the choice model right?
Get it out of turn-based combat.
Turn-based combat was not going back, and it's not fun
stuff. I don't.
But the choice model in that game was so good, and it was in 2000 and what?
2003.
And they games haven't been able to replicate it since. It's really incredible.
Yeah, part of that's because of a patent that BioWare has, but that's beside the point. But I think, like the karma system, I don't think any games nailed the feeling of really getting to make choices that affect your force neutrality. Like your what's the word I'm looking for?
Midichlorians.
Yeah, the midichlorians.
No, that's not.
The powerhouse of the cell.
But the choices. I say the choices, but the customization in that game too.
Oh yeah.
Was incredible back then. So
deep, beautiful side quests. I can't wait. And Aspire, who's been just updating and releasing these new ports of old Star Wars game, has been killing it. They did Old Republic, Commando Republic. Commando, that game was phenomenal. The update was really well received.
Did they do Squadrons?
Yeah, they did. They haven't done Squadrons yet. I hope they do Rogue Squadrons eventually. But they did both the Jedi Knight games. They recently ported KOTOR 1 and 2 over to the Switch.
Yeah.
They've been killing it for a while now, so I'm hoping to see more.
There was, for the longest time, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm interrupting you, but there was, for the longest time in development, a smuggler RPG 1313 game, and it still may be in the works.
Similar to that.
But they released stills and stuff from it where it's like, oh, this is like Skyrim, but for Star Wars, which is what we've been asking for. This is the most expandable universe in modern IP, it just has not been able, in video game form, you have not been able to explore that really. Will we get a taste of that with Knights of the Old Republic? I really hope so. That's
all I want is to be a super cool bounty hunter who also is force sensitive.
Yeah, could wield a lightsaber. FF, what is this, 6? What is
Final Fantasy 6.
Final Fantasy. See, I'm not a Final Fantasy guy. We talked about this last podcast. Just missed the boat on that.
Yeah. And 7
was a Kingdom Hearts guy, funny enough, but
7 went from a part 1 to now a 3-parter, so now we got to deal with this massive thing, and they also bringing back Crisis Core, which is kind of like an interim story that talks about Cloud and Zack's time as super soldiers and introduces their relationship with Sephiroth. That's all cool.
Names that are real.
Yeah, totally real people. Still a little on edge about the future of that stuff because of some of the leadership on that. Tetsuya Nomura, I'm looking at you. You and your Kingdom Hearts story writing. Threatening to take away all the vigor from this story.
So, got the Final Fantasy games. You said System Shock, Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, System Shock looks amazing. System Shock's been in the work forever. If you don't know about System Shock, go look it up. It is the game that inspired BioShock. It's also inspired tons of that style game. And everything BioShock has inspired is ultimately inspired by System Shock. It is the Doom of that style of storytelling. Yeah. It's a fantastic game, and the remake looks to be capturing that 90s aesthetic, but also putting some of its own DNA into it and making it a real update of that franchise. But Resident Evil 4 is going to be fine. The last 2 Resident Evil remakes have been good. They won't blow it on 4, I promise you. It'll
be the same.
It'll be the same, but you'll be able to do like a spinning kick, and that'll be pretty rad. You'll get a cool leather jacket.
Games we want to see remade. We're going quick this podcast. We got things to do, but this is just kind of a fun thing, that like a brain exercise for us to think of games that we played when we were kids, where we were like, that'd be cool if it was remade. It'd be real cool.
I got so many. This list is only like the bottom part of this page and a little bit of the next page. I had over 40 titles on this list originally, and I whittled
it down. So you say GoldenEye 007, 2000 and
GoldenEye
not the one that came out
2007.
for Xbox, but the N64. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's an obvious one, I feel like. And there's been rumors that it's been in the works for a while, but I don't really get why it hasn't happened already. Xbox, you got Rare. There's no way you can't afford, like, you can't not afford to go get the James Bond's license. Come on.
It just feels like...
Just do it.
It feels like it would be... Though not even like call it a remake, but like it feels like it would be just completely built from the ground up.
I mean, that's what a remake
game.
would need to be for that. It would need to be built from the ground up 100%. You could tell the same story essentially, but I would even be fine if they didn't include the story mode.
Just keep local multiplayer because that's what everybody loves.
And make sure
split screen, bring in the split screens.
Make sure everyone's hitboxes are fair. Odd job.
Odd job, yeah. You can only move sideways. Metal Gear Solid.
That's, another easy one, I feel like. Bluepoint, who's done a bunch of the remakes that have been very popular recently, the Demon's Souls remake most recently, has been killing it on that front for a while now. And I don't think there's anyone more well-suited to bring in that franchise, maybe not to a modern audience, but giving people who have been fans for a long time a chance to revisit that first game in its glory, but with the style and feel of like Metal Gear Solid 5, I think would be an insane treat. The only problem is Big Daddy Konami over there getting in the way of not letting us have that license for that. So.
This is one I'm going to throw in because we're talking about it. You have Oblivion on the list. I mean, Skyrim still plays really well.
Yeah.
You probably could do that one. The Witcher 3 still plays really well. I've played it on and off for a while now.
We're still waiting on a next gen port for that one.
I kind of would like to see what we could do with The Witcher 3.
I would like to see them redo the entire Witcher trilogy, honestly.
Yeah.
With Witcher 3's combat and stuff added to The Witcher 2, but with
were the
visuals and stuff.
If I'm remembering correctly, were The Witcher 1 and 2 were those first person or were those like all? Person. Those are third person, but it's not like turn based like you're. No, it's not. Okay,
it's all the same style of combat, but it's way more nuanced in 3.
Yeah.
But I think that would be an interesting one. I'm surprised that this Donkey Kong Country hasn't been remastered to this point. I mean, Nintendo, what are you doing?
You sell us the same games anyway.
You release Mario 9 times. You can't give Donkey Kong just a little bit of love. You gotta give DK some chance. I mean, Donkey Kong Country is one of the most famous games I think ever. But I'm sure it comes down to another bad case of the licensing issues where Rare's got partial licensing on that. But there's no way they couldn't work out a thing for that. There's no chance that there's not an easy solution here.
Would you like to see a Mario 64 remake?
Not really. I mean,
I loved it growing up.
I think it was great when I was a kid, but I think that, for one, it still plays really well.
Yeah.
For what it is, but I think that I would rather see them continue to innovate on Mario's formula than go back and remake older games. I think that's where they shine. I don't think a remake would really serve a purpose. Re-release it.
Speaking of Mario 64, a game that's literally just a copy of it, but with a different character, Gex.
Give me Gex remastered. No, give me Gex remake. Give me the nitty-gritty version of it. I want full-on, just like, I was not born for this world. And then he puts his sunglasses on and he hops in his sports car and it's like, but I'm going to make it pay. And then drives off
a night at Rip Taylor's
and then,
house.
Yeah, and then immediately shifts over to the other voice and he's all like, this is like laundry day at Drew Carey's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just awful jokes the whole time, but I want it set in a completely very serious tone with hyper-realistic graphics, and I want Gex to be proportionate to his actual size, but interacting with real people. I want you to be a gecko on the ground, and that's the whole gimmick.
This is one that everybody loves. Portal.
Yeah, Portal 1 and 2 should have been remade a long time ago.
Surprised they haven't made a third one.
They don't do 3s, we know that, but look, Valve, you like money. You got your own storefront so you can print your own money. I mean, why have you not put together a Portal 2, at least, the very least, at Portal 2, remake. Just run it through a newer version of your engine. Or heck, let a third-party company have a chance at it. Someone else would love to bring that franchise to modern consoles. I would love that. I'll do it. I won't be very good at it, but I'll do it.
Along the same lines, the Orange Box, Mass Effect.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Mass Effect kind of.
I mean, yeah, kind of.
We got a remaster of it. We won't get a full remake of that one.
What are the other games that almost were? Am I thinking of it as the Orange Box?
Orange Box had Half-Life and
Half-Life is what I was thinking.
Fortress.
I'm surprised because everybody's been clamoring. We need a Half-Life 3. We need a Half-Life 3.
I think that would be a great way to judge the real appeal of a Half-Life game is if you can sell a Half-Life remake before you announce Half-Life 3.
Yeah.
And then still don't announce Half-Life 3 because they hate us.
Everybody's been, when are we going to get it? No, oh, well, maybe.
I think
maybe.
Yeah, they're not going to do it. I think another slam dunk, easy one for Sony would be the Infamous series. 1 and 2 are great games, but they were
ahead of their
nice
time.
looking. They played ahead of their time, but I think that bringing them into the modern age and just giving us a full remake from the ground up with new visuals and the style of the engine they used for Ghost of Tsushima.
Those games,
amazing.
I was watching something. I think it was Gamer RX.
Gamer Ranks.
Ranks.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. More popular than us, but whatever. They were saying that the Infamous games were some of the best open world games, truly open world games before. Yeah. That stuff even.
They did a good job. So Sucker Punch makes those games. Mm-hmm. I think that Ghost of Tsushima is the epitome of their game design logic, where the world feels like it flows and there's a natural progression to stuff.
It's to its final conclusion. What goes.
Infamous feels like a complete world that you can explore. You're never seeking out collectibles just for the sake of seeking out collectibles. Everything feels like a real experience, and then the karma system makes it so that you feel like your decisions actually matter. You got to be careful about civilian casualties. You don't want to hurt someone. You don't want to cause a problem. So,
just games where you have superpowers is dope.
Yeah, I mean, and look, Second Son is probably my favorite out of that series. I would even take that. Give me a full remake of that. Holy crap, that would be amazing.
You said on here, Star Fox 64.
Why hasn't there been, not even a remake. Why hasn't there been another Star Fox game, Nintendo? Where are you hiding him? Where is Star Fox? Where's Fox McCloud? Let him out of his dungeon. He needs to fly a cool R-Wing around and do a barrel roll. I need to, I know that style of game hasn't really been a thing in a while, but it's because you stopped making it, you cowards.
Let's go even further. Just give me a Galaga remake, why don't you? No.
I mean, look, hey, if you can make it work, if you can remake it and make it interesting, give me a Galaga remake. But before you do that, give me a new Star Fox game and take Slippy out of there. No one likes Slippy.
R.I.P. to my boy Slippy. I think that some of the you had it on your list. We didn't put it on this list, but some of the ones the movie tie-ins for game tie-ins for movies. You'll remember these classically from any popular franchise, but the biggest ones were Harry Potter.
Yeah, dude. My boy PS1 Hagrid deserves a full.
I'm off to the leaky cauldron.
I mean, he needs to have a full facelift. Give me that 4K Hagrid. I need it.
But along those same lines, and I reminded him last night, I don't know if anyone remembers, the Lord of the Rings tie-in games for the first three were really, really good. Especially the third one. I played the third one. I think I platinumed it before that was even a thing. That game was so fun. I kind of need a Lord of the Rings game to restore the feeling, to be completely honest.
I'm sure a lot of hard work has been put into the Gollum game. I'm not here to play as Gollum.
What are we doing? I don't need a sneak game.
I don't want that. I want to be Gandalf. I want to be Gandalf and Legolas and
Aragorn.
And give me a chance to do some sick spinning, twirling moves and
and you're saying, well, you can just play Shadow of Mordor.
Shut up.
I don't want to.
Don't you patronize us.
I want to play the stories I know and love.
Yeah, and also, that's a completely different game. Don't you come, look at me. Don't you come at us like that, all right? We're friends here. We all want the same thing. New games, new Lord of the Rings games.
We all want new Lord of the Rings games, but like the ones to the tie-in movie, like just give us those.
But no Hobbit games. Don't try to make a Hobbit game out of this.
Good. No, we're fine. We are kind of getting like a new Harry Potter game with that'll be
outside of the normal timeline.
I'm very excited for that game.
I would just like to see them do a remake of that first game just because of how it's remembered in this, consciousness of everyone's like reality for that game. It's just remembered as this janky, weird experience. But I think there was kind of a fun action platformer under there.
Yeah. Actually, along those lines, redo the Quidditch game, the Quidditch World Cup game.
Dude, yeah. Look, FIFA. Yeah. They don't have the FIFA license anymore. FIFA, rebrand yourself as the Quidditch World Cup series. You can do FIFA Quidditch World Cup.
Give me the Quidditch World Cup. I want to play.
Get out there and make yourself.
I want to play as America, who don't actually have like a wizarding school. I want to play as them and win because we're bad at soccer. Anyway.
We have like a wizarding summer camp.
Yeah. Along those same lines, no, I was going to say tie-in movies, but I can't think of any more tie-in games to movies. I will say, along the same lines as Tony Hawk, the Skate franchise, which
we're getting a new entry in.
Yeah, we're getting a new entry in. I think people love the first and second Skate games.
Yeah, and even Skate 3 was pretty well received.
Yes, and I didn't get to play them as often as I did get to play Tony Hawk, but like the Skate felt like one of the ones where it was like you don't really like skateboarding unless you play Skate, and it was really hard, and
Which
I didn't
nonsense because Tony Hawk's obviously the better game, but I also feel like
people might get mad at you for that.
I feel like you could walk into anyone's house during a certain time period in America, and like there was likely to be a console and a Tony Hawk game just chilling in that household, whether they were like normally a gamer or not. You'd be like, "Oh, you've got Tony Hawk," and they're like, "Oh yeah, I mean obviously this is America. We all have Tony Hawk."
Tony Hawk tells a story of those games were so popular that it was selling so much that he didn't realize how good it was selling, and he said he sat down with the person in charge of the game at Activision, not the CEO or anything, but the person, like the head of the game. And he said, no, these are doing really well. And then they handed him a check for $4 million.
Look, if there's such thing as goals in life, that's goals, is to not realize you made $4 million.
Yeah.
And then be handed the check for it. So today's episode of Uplink is brought to you by Bell County Comic-Con, because guess what? Big news. I'm going to be an MC this year there. It'll be the first time Hardwired's been represented anywhere outside of this building, really. So it'll be a cool chance for me to get to talk to you guys, meet some of you, and then also for you to come out and meet some of the fantastic guests that we have coming. We got one Ray Park heading into Bell County Comic-Con. Darth Maul himself. So be sure to come down August 6th and 7th. For all the super cool stuff that's going to be there. Get a chance to meet me, get a chance to meet the people who are much more famous than me. You can also use promo code HARDWIRED by scanning this QR code here, or here, maybe it's going to be in this area.
There.
Scan that, you'll get a discount off your ticket. Again, that's August 6th and 7th at the Bell County Expo Center. We hope to see you guys there. I mean, he won't be there, but I will be.
Sorry.
I hope to see you there. And Pete,
he'll be there. So real quick, thank you to our sponsor, Bell County Comic-Con. We really appreciate that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I'm very excited for the opportunity to...
Are you going to fight him with double lightsabers?
Look, I mean, I absolutely plan to bring my lightsaber. If he doesn't remember to bring his, that's going to be on him.
He's going to be like, oh, not this again. I didn't want to talk about this.
I plan to do a full-on front flip out from behind the couch, lightsaber across the head. If he doesn't block it, then he wasn't, clearly he wasn't ready for the
Oh man, we killed Ray Park. How did that happen?
I'm like, well, that wasn't the real Darth Maul, guys.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, wrap up. What are we playing? I guess I can go first. I speed ran The Last of Us, the first one, because they said the remake was coming out, so I was like, all right, I'll just
I've only got till September.
It actually didn't take me as long as I remember it taking the first time, and once you kind of get the beats of that game, you really kind of like fly through it.
You don't pause as much for all the scenery and stuff once you've seen it.
And then I had gotten halfway through The Last of Us Part 2. It was so bleak and bad during the pandemic when it first came out that I stopped it because you were killing so many people and so many dogs.
So it was a rough journey during a very bleak year.
Things are going well now. So for me, I mean, for everything else, I don't know. In general, for me, things are going okay. I picked it back up. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic game.
It's amazing.
I don't know why it took so long to like finish it, but I'm nearly done with it. It's for all you poopy pants nerds out there. It was it's a great game.
You goopy goblin brain nerds.
Yeah. So that, and then after that, because of PlayStation Plus that we were talking about, I'm gonna be playing Guardians of the Galaxy for free. So there's that.
Which everyone should do. We forgot to mention it last time. If you haven't played Guardians of the Galaxy and you have PlayStation Plus,
it's free.
Why? Go get it now. Oh, we'll wait.
Right now. Okay, what are you playing?
All right, cool. So play it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Me, I've been taking some time away from the single player stuff to get a chance to catch up with some friends playing other stuff. So, over on Weekend Warriors, we've been playing a lot of fighting games. We recently did Nidhogg, where I got my rear handed to me multiple times before finally realizing that being a rock and flying through the air is pretty fun.
Yeah.
Which in Sonic the Hedgehog is a cool thing to be. Been playing a lot of Battlefield 2042, getting back into that game. Not a lot of new content came out with the Season 1 thing, but I've been enjoying what we've been able to experience for the most part, and just kind of waiting on the next set of things to hit.
I played, speaking of combat games, I played the Nintendo Brawlers game.
Yeah.
That was free on Play. It stinks.
Not good.
It's not good.
It's a bad time.
It is. It's funny to see like the characters that like, because I watched a ton of Nintendo growing up.
You mean Nickelodeon?
Nickelodeon. I did do both. I watched a lot of Nickelodeon growing up, so it's fun to like have those characters because they are recognizable, more recognizable than like some of the Smash characters.
Yeah.
But, buddy,
It's a rough
there's like
game.
2 attacks for each person.
It's not good. I've said it before.
Caitlin beat the hell out of me in that game.
I'll say it again. I don't think that I don't understand why it's so hard to nail a formula that is close to Smash Bros. Without being Smash Bros.
Mm-hmm.
But the closest one I've ever seen that did it well was PlayStation All-Stars, and even that had its problems.
Yeah.
I don't understand why we can't get another franchise out of this style of gameplay, but it's just not happening.
Isn't there another one coming out like?
Yeah, Multiverses.
Is it?
It's Warner Bros.
Warner Bros. That's what it is. Yeah,
Played
it's like
not great.
Not good either?
I
Oh,
don't
God.
think it's very. it's okay. It's way better than the Nickelodeon one.
yeah,
but
big Viacom. Don't sue us, but like that game ain't
Look,
good.
I'm glad that Super Saiyan Shaggy made it into the game. That's cool. But
Final Form Shaggy.
other than memes, I don't. Or I guess that'd be Ultra Instinct.
Ultra Instinct
but
Shaggy.
Other than for the memes, I don't see a purpose to the feeling of that game, I guess. But we've got some more games coming out towards the end of this month. We've got some big stuff. July is kind of a barren wasteland for games, if I'm being honest. I think we've got like 2 games we're reviewing, and that's it. But you can join us Saturdays at 1 p.m. for Weekend Warrior. This weekend we'll be hitting Tekken 7 with my good friend Christian Sellers. I will be Eddie Gordo, and I will be helicopter kicking him in the face surgically.
Surgically.
It's going to be a good
With
time.
precision.
He's going to hate it. He's going to do Paul Phoenix's full 10-hit combo on me, and it's going to make me cry a little bit, but it'll be a good time. So join us live stream there. You can also catch it on YouTube after the fact. You can subscribe to Hardwired for all the latest Uplink stuff. Also, game reviews. We just did a review on Quarry and Sniper Elite 5. You can catch those over in one of these areas on the screen. And until next time, we've been, I'm Andrew, and this is Royden.
I'm Royden.
Whatever, let's redo that. Let's redo that.